Hey everybody, it's InnoVision, and what we have right here is the Xbox full screen experience running on our Lenovo Legion Go. And the first thing you'll notice is we can actually enter our PIN right here using our controller, just like you would on an Xbox. Alright, so I've got my PIN entered. The Lenovo button mappings still work. So I've got my brightness control here. And typically I play with the balanced TDP settings. Sometimes I use custom with it being 17 watts. We're running off of the Windows development channel, and I'm using the Xbox Insider version of the Xbox app. You'll see a mixture of games here that I have under Steam and Xbox. So for example, this is Elden Ring, and it didn't pull the icon incorrectly. It used the icon from the anti-cheat. And so I've already configured my Radeon or AMD gaming experience to use integer scaling across the board. And so we're just gonna log in here and give everyone a tour of what this looks like. So as that's loading, if you swipe up, you can scroll between the different apps that are running here. And so I'm gonna just close Steam. You can actually use your controller if you wanted by hitting the X button. And you can just cycle through everything using your controller, which is nice. You hit A to select it, bring it back to the foreground. And remember, the Xbox full screen experience is centered around the controller. So this is Microsoft's attempt to provide us with something that's similar to SteamOS. And from that perspective, I would say that it's functional. It does leave several things to be desired. I feel like the UI is not as tidy as SteamOS, but we're not here to critique the UI. We're here to tell you what this can and cannot do. Here's our performance overlay. And so one of the things you'll notice right away, or at least I noticed right away with a game I've spent a long time with, this is consistent with the performance I already see in Windows. And so this full screen experience, it's not freeing up as much additional memory as the experience that's probably running on the Xbox branded Ally device. And so there, I know Microsoft's Xbox team is working closely with the Windows team, and they've reduced memory utilization by around 2 gigs. I don't see that kind of memory reduction here. What we do see is the Xbox app itself. It's the first process it's the foreground process that runs. So rather than explorer.exe that loads the whole desktop, you can adjust what app you want to launch in full screen. So technically you probably could use Steam with big picture mode if you wanted. All this is doing is loading Windows without any of the additional services. Only the services needed for the Xbox full screen experience are what's being loaded. I've seen people saying they've gotten like a 5 to 10% performance improvement. I actually would like to call BS on that. That's just not possible. Here, we're not seeing an improvement in performance. We're seeing a change in the mode of operation. We're seeing a better user experience. And so we can actually simulate the Xbox button because we don't have an Xbox button. If you hold down your right joystick and push the left Legion button, it brings up the game bar. And so now we can actually just exit the app if we wanted. Now this would cause you to lose any of your save progress, but I'm just showing you here for demonstration purposes. It can be done. And so here's another game. This one's native to the Xbox app versus it being a Steam game. So while that's loading up, let's just take a look at this UI here. So you can hit the left and right shoulder buttons to cycle through the apps. Now you'll notice here, if you push this go to Windows desktop, once you do that, once you click that, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? You can hide this message next time. When you click continue, it's actually going to load all the services that are part of Windows here. And so now any of the performance benefit that I would have had from this experience is now kind of erased. But I have not seen any performance improvement, and I don't think we will unless it's the custom tailored version of the experience. The important thing here is, I think on a device like the Legion Go S that's got the 32 gigs of RAM, or the Legion Go 2 that'll be having the 32 gigs of RAM, from what I've seen in my own performance testing, most of the improvements in SteamOS in terms of performance, a lot of it's coming from the fact that the shaders are pre-cached and the fact that it uses less memory. Now there's a lot of other reasons why Linux has better performance, but those are kind of the two kind of like primary buckets that the performance improvements are coming from. And so if you have a little bit more memory, you have a little bit more headroom, the performance probably is going to be okay. And from what I've seen, this experience actually is pretty smooth because I can just hit my game bar here. Whoop. Oh, it brought Steam Big Picture mode up. That's because we already loaded desktop here. So if we weren't in the desktop, then Steam Big Picture mode wouldn't have loaded up like that. See, now we don't get the option to close that out. And I think if we swipe up, we're just gonna get the normal Windows desktop at this point. Yeah. So again, here's my whole game library. So now that I'm not running in Windows desktop mode, if I play this Hollow Knight game, I just want to take a look at this. So we can use the left and right bumpers to bounce between which window has focus. We've got our Xbox game bar by holding down the right joystick and tapping the left Legion button. And from this menu, you get things like powering the device on and off. Another call out here, another thing that does not work correctly, and I don't see it working anyways, no matter which hardware you have, the sleep and resume functionality that the Steam Deck has, or handhelds that are running SteamOS, this does not perform well. In fact, right before I put this recording together, I have my Legion Go asleep, and then I go to turn, and while it's sleeping, the fans are running and everything, mind you, and then I go to turn it back on, and it never recovered. I had to hard reset it. And that's similar to the experience I've seen running Windows on this, like the normal full desktop. So I don't think it's because of the fact that we're using beta software here. I do wish that this UI just looked a little bit more like it does on the Xbox itself. It just feels weird having to click into these like sidebars and things like that. I mean, it's totally navigatable. And to that end, you know, this exact screen and this exact UI could run on your desktop computer or your laptop. So that's a big improvement. Me personally, I might actually, once this is no longer in beta, I will definitely be using this on my desktop gaming PC, because it's just nice to be able to log in using the controller. Because what happens is, I find myself, if I turn the computer on and I'm using the mouse and keyboard, I find myself going on the internet, answering emails and doing stuff that I don't want to do if I'm there to play games. And so this is going to be a nice way to kind of compartmentalize things. So let's go ahead and show you how we can shut it down using the game bar. So we just pulled up the game bar, and I'm going to go to power and then shut down. Now in my upcoming video, I'll be showing you how you can test this experience out yourself. I just want to warn everyone, once you commit to the preview or beta branch of the Windows update channels, it's not like SteamOS where you can go back to the stable version. You're stuck on that release branch, or you have to factory reset your Windows installation. I personally think it's nice to just watch a video about this, unless you're really eager and want to try this out yourself. It's not finished. It's a lot better than the current state of Windows gaming. You know, I want to give credit where it's due. This is definitely 10 steps forward in the right direction. In our next video, we're going to show you how to set this up if you want to try it out yourself. And be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, so you don't miss all the toys and gaming tips we've got coming down the pipeline.